I am super excited because I'm about to maiden flight an awesome new quadcopter that I just built. Check this out. So excited. And this right here is a DiaTone frame with a couple of, I think these are 2300 kV motors. We've got a NASA flight controller in there, tiny little 12 amp ESCs, 600 milliwatt video transmitter in the front, which is kind of an odd placement, but everything's jam-packed into this tiny little frame. And what's super unique about this guy is that he collapses down. Loosen these screws just a little bit, and all of these just slide right in. So when it's all said and done, it's super compact. And I've flown one other frame like this, the Zugong frame, which is about $200 and quite complicated to build and pretty big footprint, yada yada yada. But I wasn't so impressed with it. This is my second folding design attempt, and what's cool is this DiaTone frame is like $20, so I won't feel so bad if this thing crashes and burns. But much smaller form factor. This is a 200 millimeter. So the idea, the whole purpose of this build is to have super compactness. So when it's all said and done, it actually carabiners right to my Hack 5 bag, and then I actually use a modified, I think this controller is like an E-Flight controller, but it's got a DSM2 chip in here, and then I've upgraded it with a SMA so that it can put on a powerful antenna, which I've done here. Well, okay, it's like a 6 dBi, but I could put a 9 dBi on there, or I could even put it with the 2-watt booster. And I'm using a little 1300 milliamp hour battery, so pretty small. I'm hoping to get 5 minutes of flight. We'll see how that goes, but overall the purpose is to have everything super tiny, so it just fits in this bag. And then of course I've got my goggles ready to go for when I get this up there. So that's that. Let's see if it flies. So everything was going great until the battery got low, and then it just plummeted. And I think most of the trouble is actually with the transmitter, which has some crazy mind of its own. But otherwise, super agile and super difficult to control right now. I'm going to try connecting it to a DSM2 controller by Spectrum. I think that'll run a lot better. Stopped off to get a snack, and this is no endorsement, but what? Pineapple coconut? It's like they almost knew! Now, in addition to binding a different controller, I'm actually changing out the props here because I did break one and I don't have any spares of these, but these are very popular props. They're the GemFan 5030s, and I'm changing them out for the HQ prop 5040s. And so basically what those numbers mean is the first is like how long they are, so 5 inches long, and then the second number is how many inches they would rise with a 360-degree turn if there was no load on them in a perfect vacuum, or I guess a liquid, as it corkscrews around. And so these will provide, the new ones will provide more thrust than the old ones, because they will go 4 inches rather than 3, and we'll see if that increases flight time too. Yeah, so this just isn't as stylish, you know? But should fly better. Alright, so it's terribly balanced, too much weight in the back. I've got full tilt forward just to stay where I am, which is exactly what I was experiencing with the other controller, so I don't think, oh yeah, that's really bad. I don't think it's the controller. It's definitely just that it's got too much junk in the trunk. I might be able to compensate for this with a little trim, but it's kind of doubtful. Alright, that's with full forward trim, which is kind of terrible. Oops. Yeah, that wasn't so good. Oh. Yep, that's the end of my flying day. You know, the funny thing is, I could probably just reattach those leads and everything's good, except my frame's busted. Good thing I got 2 of them. Hey, good thing they're only 20 bucks, but man, I don't know. Not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. I seem to have broken every single prop. Alright, test flight number 3. I've swapped out for carbon fiber propellers and moved the battery to the top, which shouldn't interfere, and also gives me a much better center of gravity. So everything is pretty much centered. We'll see how it flies. I should just be able to change the center of gravity now by moving the battery forward. The modification I've done here is gone and added a second strap so I can put in a larger battery. This is a 2200 as opposed to the much smaller 1300. They look like this. And these guys are only giving me about 4 minutes of battery life. My requirements are at the very minimum to get 5. Hopefully this will do the trick. Let's see. That is not bad. Not bad at all. So there we have it. Overall, a pretty successful day. Some great flights, some great crashes, and a lot of learning, a lot of rebuilding, a lot of fun. And you know, that's the whole part of the hobby. The flying is great, the feeling like a bird, the feeling free. It's fantastic, but so is the re-engineering, and that's part of the hacker culture, and I love that. And I already know that I'm pretty much going to be completely redoing this, even though I've got it working to most of my specifications. But I've got some parts on order, and we'll have to wait until those come in to do it again. But of course, that's most of the fun of it. So anyway, thanks guys. Cheers.